this, I'm going to go ahead and pull Susan's slides up. And once I get those slides pulled up, we're going to go ahead and turn things over to Susan.
Perfect. Thanks, Norval, for having me present today. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say, really, it's a pleasure to speak with you today on sustainability. It definitely is a hot topic, and I believe it should be of great interest to all companies of all industries. Honestly, I believe that sustainability truly is a key enabler for helping companies to achieve your business goals. And today, I really want to talk about how we can leverage our employee engagement that can truly amplify and maximize the results that you achieve. So moving on to the first slide that we have, talks to the business case for sustainability. So there's many advantages to having the sustainability programs and initiatives at your company. To name a few, the first one being cost savings. So obviously reduced operational costs, using less energy, using less water, waste, and transportation, all of this results in savings. And of course, intuitively that makes sense, because if you create less garbage, you're saving on disposal fees. If you decrease your transportation distances, you're of course saving on fuel costs, as well as less greenhouse gas emissions to the environment. The second one, increase customer loyalty and attraction. Now this is a big one. If you truly are committed to going green, you're going to have a better chance of keeping your customers and of course attracting new ones away from your competitors that are lacking in this area. Fueling innovation and creativity. So I think all of us are really forced or constantly looking at ways of how to do things differently and to do it better. So this way,
Susan, are you still there?
you still hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's any meeting again, which is one of the reasons why we're going to get away from it. But yeah, if you could continue, that'd be great.
All right, so I talked about cost savings, increased customer loyalty and attraction, and innovation. And then the last but not least, the one that I think is the biggest return on investment is increased employee engagement and retention. So certainly we all know the importance of retaining our employees from a development and growth perspective, and important to have those senior employees for your knowledge transfer and training your new hires. And it's so important to keep that top talent, because those top talent employees are the ones that truly do drive your sustainability initiatives and programs. And those are the ones that will seek out your sustainable companies to work for. But going on to the next slide, we talk about employee engagement being critical to sustainability. It's a known fact that really employee engagement is the #1 success factor in driving your sustainability programs. We've always said that, executives can set the goals that we need to achieve, but really the employees drive this. Executives can set the goals, but we need to make sure that employees really do understand how your program or initiative fits in or aligns with the business. Employees need to know why it's important to the business and what specifically is their role in it. Because then only if we get these three things ingrained in the associate's mind, we're going to be able to make sure we meet those goals with the help of our employee engagement. I've always said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So you really need to make sure you get your employees on board so they buy into the success of your program. And then from there, you'll be able to achieve your sustainability goals. Employees, we all know, are truly our valued assets. So they can make or break your plan. So never underestimate the power of employee engagement when you're driving your initiatives, and be sure to educate, engage, and empower your employees so you make sure that they drive the initiative, and more importantly, they are able to sustain your initiatives so it does not become the flavor of the month. The next slide talks to some areas of how we can maximize our employee engagement. And really it talks to you about, I would say, 4 buckets, or 4 or 5 buckets actually, of what really motivates our employees. So the first one, the first category, motivated by worthy cause.
Yeah, no sound. I see that.
Okay, I think I'm back on. Could you hear me?
You're back on.
Okay, so the first category, motivated by worthy causes, these are really employees who truly want to make a difference and help others, which in turn add to their purpose. The second category would be those are the employees that really want to seek power and authority. These are the individuals who want to be leaders, future mentors, and a coach to others. The third one being an emphasis on personal growth. So developing your capability. Honestly, these people are the ones who are intrinsically motivated and they want to step out of their comfort zone to grow. The fourth one, attracted by money. Some people are driven by the competitiveness and the monetary rewards, the kind of the what's in it for me, why should I get involved? And the last one, the continual education and knowledge. I call these people the lifelong learners. These are the career students who truly want to continually learn and grow and develop as time goes on. So I think looking at these 5 categories of engagement, I think all of us can say that we at least fit into one of these categories, if not more than one, right? Understanding what these 5 categories are important because when I design my programs or initiatives, I make sure I try to put in pieces that would attract and motivate those people to come forward, and hopefully they're in one of those 5 categories. So if I could talk, next slide talks to our sustainability strategy. So what is our sustainability strategy at Staples Advantage? We kept it quite simple in the terms of that it really is broken down into 4 focus areas. The 4 being easy to choose, easy to recycle, easy to operate, and easy to impact. So quite simply, easy to choose, making sure that we offer sustainable products and services to our customers. Easy to recycle, making sure we make it easy for our customers to recycle the products that we do sell them. Easy to operate, we're looking at ways that we can reduce our operational waste and maximize our energy efficiency. And easy to impact, making sure that we are a sustainability leader in the community and helping those who live and work in our community. Looking at a little bit more in detail, the next slide talks to a little bit more detail on our first pillar, easy to choose. So really, Staples Business Advantage, our priority is to make sure that we offer our customers thousands of eco-friendly products to choose from. Whether or not they choose them is another thing, but we're making sure we educate, engage, and empower our customers to make sure that they do make that choice that would benefit the environment. We have eWay. So eWay is our online ordering system. And on eWay, we actually have a tool called Switch to Eco. And this tool will help customers quite easily see at the click of a mouse what the eco alternative is for the product they want to buy. So really it's about educating our customers on the more green, sustainable choice. And so that way they can make an informed decision on what to buy and hopefully reduce their carbon footprint in the process. We do this for all different types of products, whether it be, of course, the recycled paper, toner cartridges, desk accessories, furniture, you name it. All different lines of business have eco alternatives that are available on eWay through our website for customers to choose from. The second part of the easy to choose is on the next slide, where we actually have our own Staples Sustainable Earth brand products. So we're really proud of this product line because it is eco products with great performance and without the high price tag. So we truly do walk the walk in terms of developing products that are good for the environment. And again, from all different lines of business, whether it be the paper supplies, the facility products, the cleaning products, you name it, we make sure that we have products available that are available to our customers and they can make that informed choice. We're at 28%, I believe, of our assortment right now for eco-friendly products, and that number continues to grow. Easy to recycle is the second focus area on the next slide. So easy to recycle really talks to our external recycling programs first off. So our driver pickup program, that's making sure we pick up our e-waste, our batteries, our toners, things like that to make sure that we dispose of those properly from our customers.
Yeah, stand by here for another few seconds. I think we lost her.
I think I'm back again.
Yep, you're back again. Sorry about that.
No worries. So I was just speaking to the external recycling programs, making sure that we have external services available to the customer, whether it's picking up their used toners, their used batteries, or their e-waste, and making sure it's disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. And that's really important because if we're selling products, we need to make sure that the customers aren't left with the end user isn't left with our issues of how to recycle and the issue of that and making sure that we do it for them. And the best part of it, it is a free service to our customers. The next part of Easy to Recycle on the next slide talks to our internal recycling programs. And we did something small. So here's an example really of a small change that we did resulted in a big impact. It actually resulted in a triple win. It was to reduce our waste at our head office. We piloted here at our Mississauga head office. And what we did quite simply is got rid of the black garbage cans that you normally have beside your blue bin. And the picture that you see on the slide below is a little black waste container that's clipped onto the blue bin. And essentially this small black bin, it only holds 2 cups of waste. So you can see it's significantly smaller than the traditional black garbage can. By doing this, we change employees' behaviors in terms of how much waste they generate.
Oh man, okay. Wait here for a second, she'll be back.
So the triple win that I talked to is that, first of all, by doing this small change, we divert thousands of pounds of waste from the landfill annually. We increased our recycling to 50%, and that number is much higher now. And also, we've saved thousands of dollars in waste disposal fees because we're making less trips to the landfill. So that's an example of really a small change that we did here to reduce our waste, but it ended up being good for the business, good for the reducing the landfill part of it, and really improving our recycling efforts with our employees as well. Our kitchens also have our separated waste diversion bins for garbage, recycling, and organic collection, which certainly helps to this cause as well. Many of you, I'm not sure, but in our offices we do use the TerraCycle coffee capsules, and we do provide that to our customers as well. So certainly we also have the option of them having it's called the TerraCycle zero waste boxes. On your slide, the bottom right-hand corner, that's a picture of the TerraCycle the waste boxes that it will collect all the used capsules, and it's zero waste because none of that goes to the landfill. What basically happens is the capsule itself, it is upcycled into plastic lumber, and the coffee organics, the used coffee organics, are actually collected and used at local farms to enrich the earth. So that's an example too of a product that we sell, and we make sure that we can provide a service to our customers to make sure there's zero waste to the landfill resulting from the used coffee capsules. The next slide talks to our easy to operate. So at Staples Business Advantage, we do have a program called 50 Green. The 50 Green program essentially is aimed to reduce our small orders that cause inefficiencies with our business and the extra travel to our customers. So by cutting down the travel to our customers with unnecessary small visits, we actually are reducing the GHGs, and that in turn helps increase our operational efficiency and our delivery efficiency. By doing this, the money that we do collect with the surcharge of if they exceed the $50 limit, we actually donate to a great organization, Tree Canada, where we've actually now, I believe, are designated with the platinum sponsor, the highest level of sponsorship with Tree Canada, where we will make sure that they're planting trees across Canada because we're making annual donations of over $100,000 per year. And now I believe we're at the 1 million mark since this program has started in 2008. So you can see some pictures there of also how we affect the community through Tree Canada. They're planting trees across Canadian schools as well and getting the community involved, as well as our employees.
We just lost her again. Stand by here just a few seconds.
Yes, I'm back again. So Easy to Operate also has the program, if we move to the next slide, it talks about 2 things, delivery efficiency and our partnership with Bullfrog Canada. So first of all, for delivery efficiency, we make sure that we are we're reducing our kilometers traveled when we're making deliveries to the customer for many reasons, for helping the environment, reducing our fuel costs as well. We do that by using a software called RoadNet. So RoadNet is a software that really maximizes the most efficient delivery route for our drivers. Therefore, we cut down on the delivery time, distance traveled, unnecessary idling, and saving on fuel costs. So that's another example of how we operate more efficiently. And for Bullfrog Partnership, we're partnering with them because we want to make sure it strengthens our commitment to reducing our environmental impact. We purchase green energy that's derived from the wind and the low impact hydro, and then that's placed back onto the grid, equivalent to the sites that we list down below that consume our energy. The next slide also is about easy impact. So that is our last pillar of our sustainability strategy, and one of my favorite ones really, because that's our opportunity for us enabling our employees to volunteer and give back to the community. A lot of team building events, a lot of fun, and a lot of good, I guess, staple soul is generated through these events. It definitely helps with our employee engagement because having these type of easy to impact community events that our employees can get involved in makes it fun, and it also drives a positive work culture. And I believe in turn that speaks to our high retention rate of over 85% of employees. So the picture that you see here, it's really them doing a tree planting cleanup community to benefit the Boys and Girls Club, one of our corporate charities that we support. And the nice thing about this picture is that you see people from all different.
Oh boy. Okay, we lost her for a few seconds. Stand by a minute. If she comes back.
In the picture, you've got people from different departments and different levels, and it's nice to know that you've got merchandising, sales, bids and contract teams coming together, and you've got the vice president of our bids and contract department, as well as coordinators and people from our warehouse participating all together in one area. So really, so many charities we give back to, whether it be the YMCA, Big Brothers, Junior Achievement, the Food Bank, World Vision. There's so countless charities that we do give back, and the nice thing is that every single employee doesn't, regardless of your job position, your area, and your seniority, we all get involved, and that really helps drive a positive work culture. The next slide really speaks to a little bit more in detail what I was mentioning earlier, the easy to impact. We, on a national level, just to name a few, these are some of the key national organizations across Canada that Staple Business Advantage, our employees do volunteer and give back their time or donate to. As well as on the local level at different sites, we also have a wide variety of charities that we give back to. I think this is just simply a testament of how we truly believe that doing good is just as important as doing well and operating well as a company. So I talk about our sustainability initiatives. The next slide talks to how we measure our sustainability efforts. So how do we measure them? I've always said that what gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets improved upon. So that's really important for us. We use this tool called the IRIS. The IRIS standing for Interactive Sustainability Tool Indicator for Sustainability. And it's comprised of 4 main quadrants. We decided to choose the quadrants being capability, development, and satisfaction. And two quadrants are on the environment, sustainable products and sustainable operations, and the last quadrant being community impact. So we have different categories within these quadrants with different KPIs. So for example, capability, development, satisfaction, we have some key performance indicators such as percent roles filled by internal candidates. We have associate retention as a metric and associate satisfaction as a metric as well. For environment sustainable products, we have indicators such as the percent of eco-product assortment, percent of products over 30% post-consumer content, and also we have a metric with how many third-party certification products do we have, and our eco sales, how are we doing there? With sustainable operations, in that quadrant, we have metrics ranging from the 50 Green program, the reduction of small orders, our fleet efficiency, our energy intensity, the number of toners and batteries and e-waste that we pick up. We want to keep track of all these because, like I said, what gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets improved upon. The last quadrant, community impact, we're making sure that we're measuring things such as internal volunteer hours, the things that we do with employee fundraising and volunteerism in the company, and our external volunteer hours, the charities that we volunteer for, speaking events, articles that we perhaps get published, or awards and social media presence as well. So those are the ones that we chose. Certainly for different companies, you have different areas of focus, but those just to give you a flavor of what we decided to to pursue and keep in our sustainability target. Talk about ISO registrations on the next slide. So we're really proud, we take pride in having our ISO registrations. It's truly a testament to our strong employee engagement, because I can honestly say leading these registrations in our company, it would not be possible if it wasn't for our key employees who are truly engaged to help drive it. Having these registrations is not a one-person job, it's a job of everyone in the organization as they all contribute. So employee engagement is critical in maintaining and keeping these ISO registrations for sure. The 9001 being the quality registration, really focusing on the customer satisfaction piece, and the 14001 being the environmental registration, making sure that we do minimize our impacts to the environment. So on the next few slides, I have a few case examples. The next slide talks to the environment. So when I mentioned about the ISO 14001, we were faced with the challenge to get all our sites across Canada 14001 certified. And we were actually given a year to do that, but because of our employee engagement, we did it ahead of schedule. We did it in 8 months. And that was because we had key people from our different sites who rose to the challenge to be on our national team to implement it across the board. And again, we did it ahead of schedule, and we did it successfully the first time because of the key employees who were engaged and to really drive the momentum and to sustain our ISO certification since 2008. So with 14001, how do we do this? We really, first off, we made sure that we made employees understand why we're doing this. First of all, what is 14001? They had lots of questions. Why was it a priority for our business? We had to make sure we understood why we're doing it and to get the message out to all employees. And how do we do it? Making sure we had, information sessions, increasing awareness with our employees, and getting them to understand how it's important, how their involvement is crucial. And by doing that, we're able to assemble cross-functional teams of engaged employees to implement this nationally ahead of schedule. And most importantly, we had to report ongoing progress, because if you don't report it and circle back with employees, you might lose them. So you need to make sure they know what the results are and how well we're doing. And if we're not doing so well, where can we improve and how do we get their help to recruit them to get them on board? The end result is that we had a big celebration in terms of celebrating our national corporate registration. We had the mayor here. We had a big celebration. We were in the news in terms of being one of the first companies achieving their 14001 certification. And most importantly, I think it was good to acknowledge those key employees who truly stepped up, because they were, recognized for their going over and above. And I think in turn that also attracted more employees to volunteer for 14001 and for future sustainability initiatives as well. So that was a case example on the environment.
So I think we lost her again. Wait here for a few seconds.
So the next slide talks to the case example on community. So exactly what did we do? We were faced with the task of how do we grow our employee volunteerism for junior achievement. At one point, we had junior achievement as our national charity, and that was the what that we had to do. And why? Because obviously we wanted to support the pillar easy to impact, which is the last pillar in our sustainability strategy. And we wanted to make sure that we offer employees a leadership role in the classroom so they can be a coach or a mentor and help with other students as well. How do we do this? First of all, employees didn't really know what junior achievement was about, so we had to provide awareness trainings, let them know what junior achievement is about, why we're choosing it, how they can get involved, and also to train them. By doing that, we had training sessions, we had celebrations for successes, we made it fun. Honestly, if you make something fun, more employees will gravitate to your cause. The end result we were really pleased with. When we started, we actually had only 8 volunteers at one head office, our head office. And in the first year, we grew from 8 employees to just over 150 volunteers at 11 sites across Canada. So I
think we lost her again.
So looking looking at that, we can see that making sure that we involved our employees, we're able to grow our base from 8 volunteers to 150. We actually presented what we did to COPA, a Canadian Office Product Association, and they recognized us with the award for community leadership, and we ended up getting that award for 4 years in a row. That was really a testament to our employee engagement. We could not have received this recognition from COPA if it wasn't for the employee volunteerism and engagement from our employees across Canada. So that's another example of how we leverage employee engagement to drive our sustainability initiative with respect to the community. The next slide talks to an example of our sustainability teams. So once we found out we had, a good set of employees across our sites, we decided to establish green teams first of all, and then that name green team actually evolved to sustainability teams. And the reason it evolved to the sustainability team is because that's a more holistic name. Green teams initially were just, working on. Green teams were working on initiatives targeted to the environment, but then we found that the same teams were addressing community initiatives as well. So hence we changed the name from Green Team to Sustainability Team. Many of you probably have green teams or sustainability teams at your organization, hopefully. It's just another way for you to embed sustainability into every level of your company by having these teams. I should say that we could not have the success that we've had to date if it wasn't for our sustainability teams. Truly, all the credit goes to them because they are the ones that are living and driving the programs at their sites. We have 11 sites across Canada, so certainly they make it happen and they get other folks involved as well. So again, the what was we needed to establish green teams. The why is we made sure that it was embedded into every level of our organization. And the how, we made sure we made it fun. We had celebrations to celebrate the successes and to attract new employees to our cause as well. The end result, we now have local and national sustainability teams across Canada, and we've got a newsletter that comes out to all our employees. A lot of people put forth the newsletter material so we can keep things current, and then all employees know what's happening at different sites. And another thing I should mention, we actually were incurring a cost to do an annual waste audit. The waste audit we needed to do was to meet a regulatory requirement. So we decided that we're going to tap into those green team members, learn what's involved to do the waste audit and report on it. And by doing that, we were able to not pay the consultant fees anymore. So we saved money to the business by getting our green team to do the waste audit and meet the regulatory requirement. We also empowered our employees to learn new skills and, of course, save money for the business. By submitting that in, I believe that also helped us achieve an award, and we also got recognition in the national newspaper for Canada in terms of our green team efforts. So again, that was just icing on the cake that other people recognize what we did internally through leveraging our employee engagement. Next slide, we talk about maximizing our sustainability results through employee engagement. So just some tips really, how to grow in your sustainability teams. Perhaps you have them at your organization. If not, here's a few tips just to make sure that your patience is number one. Establish your green team is not going to happen overnight, but it will happen, I do promise, if you stick with it. Getting buy-in from a senior executive, from your senior leadership team is crucial because you want to lead by example. Sharing the plans and stories with your employees, letting them know what's happening at different sites so you create that buzz. And if you're looking to expand, the key thing is to assign a green champion, your green advocate for each site, and make it fun by having little celebrations and such at different sites. People hear about it, and then again, more employees will gravitate to your sustainability team, which will help further and drive the cause or initiative that you want to implement. So the link that you see below, WWF did an article on us because they heard about our success with sustainability teams, and they actually did an article and published it for to give us a little more recognition, but also to help other companies as well in terms of how do they grow their or how do they establish and how do they grow their greener sustainability teams. So our corporate social responsibility report is on the next slide. I encourage you to check out our website. It has our CSR, our corporate social responsibility report. I call it a one-stop shop to all our sustainability initiatives. It'll help you understand if you're interested in terms of what our CSR strategy is about and how we integrate it into the way we work, and making sure that we deliver our results for our customers and our communities where we live and work. So just a little plug for that. If you are interested, there's a link to it, and you can certainly find out a little bit more in depth of what we do and what we're about. So I talked about external recognition earlier with awards or articles that we were published in. The next slide really just is a summary of just a few of the external recognition things that we've done, whether they be articles online or in print, in magazines, in the newspaper. These are just a few, a sample, and every one of these honestly are framed around the results that we achieved through our employee engagement. There's just some links that are attached that you can look at through if you care to. The next slide, we talked about external recognition, and then the awards that we received again are icing on the cake. We really do these things to improve our business and improve the community environment. So being recognized for awards are really icing on the cake for us to be, to nominate first of all, and then to be actually winning the award is truly a testament to our employee engagement, and thankful for our employees who really did make this happen for all of us. So I always say in our CSR report, the next slide talks to our testimonials. Really, this slide is saying what are our customers saying about us. So don't hear it from us. You can let our stakeholders do the talking, so to speak. The first one being Pinchin Environmental, and Pinchin Environmental is an environmental firm. Their focus is on environmental impact, and this is the actual quote they provided with us. I highlighted in blue the part that I really like, the fact that we go above and beyond selling the product to the customer. It's more about developing a relationship with the customer. So we didn't just sell environmental products to them. We understood what their needs were, but we also provided requirements on them possibly pursuing the 14,001. We helped them with growing their green teams, sustainability teams. And we even shared our newsletters and tips on ISO 14001, as well as our corporate responsibility report, so they can have more ideas to possibly implement at their own company. So with us, our philosophy really is to not just sell a product to the customer at the end of the day. Sustainability to me is more about building the relationship and strengthening the partnership we have with our customers. So because we're all in the sustainability field together, so we need to help each other and help improve as a whole. The last slide really is just a few closing remarks of certainly if anyone needs to follow up with me, there's my contact or my coordinates there. I just wanted to close really with a few key messages. For sustainability to be successful, we truly need to ingrain sustainability in all areas of your business. So whether you're in merchandising, you're sourcing eco-friendly products, you're challenging your vendors to do the same. If you're in marketing, you're promoting eco-green products to our customers. With IT, they're providing us with tools like the Switch to Eco tool and eWay to help facilitate green purchasing from our customers. And if you're sales and customer care, I see their role as educating our customers on, their choice to influence greener buying patterns. And of course, warehouse and delivery, our operations, making sure they're more efficient internally and externally with the customer. Every single department plays a role in sustainability, so definitely do your best to ingrain sustainability in all areas of your business. And I think about the success we've had to date with sustainability, and I can sum it up in three things really. Making sure that you have a sustainability strategy that's unique to your business. So you need to tailor your sustainability strategy to your business. Look at where your biggest environmental impacts are, what are your business goals, and more importantly, make it transparent. Use your SMART goals and communicate it to your employees, because by communicating to your employees, you'll get their buy-in and you'll get their engagement to help drive your cause. So employee engagement is the second one, and the last but not least, continuous improvement. Making sure that you drive continuous improvement in your organization to raise the bar, because you want to make sure you stay ahead of your competition. And that's it. So thank you very much for your time. If there's any questions, I'd be certainly happy to take them on.
Okay, great. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for having me.
We're going to go ahead and take questions here. I had to take the PowerPoint off the screen in order to actually see the chat box. Susan, are you able to see the chat box? Susan? Okay.
Hello there. I'm back. I don't know. I keep losing.
Yeah. The question I had for you, are you able to see the chat box, or would you like me to just go through the questions one by one?
Yeah, I cannot see the chat box, so for sure, if you could mention what they are.
Sure. The first one we have is we perform composting and recycling at our site, but it's difficult getting people to put the wastes in the correct container. What strategies have you implemented to improve recycling rates, and how do you measure it?
All right, so we do, first of all, what visuals that we use, we actually have, I understand there's a challenge because when we had the separated waste bins, we did little mini waste audits, and we found that people were not putting the correct things in the right bins, whether it be recycling, garbage, or compost. So what we did is we added visual tools, not just the verbiage of what, giving examples of what exactly can go in the bin, but we had images of of the organics and the recycling and the garbage, the actual images of certain types of food or things that can go in there. So that image visual helped because it was attached to the actual bin. Then we did mini waste audits where we had our greener sustainability team periodically go through and just do a visual inspection of, who's not, which bins have the most. And then from there, whatever the results were, good or bad, we would make sure we would be sending out an email to that site, letting them know that, a waste audit was conducted, here what the results are, we need to improve, please make every effort to put it in the right bin. And it was a slow, but like I said, patience is a mother of virtue. You need to be patient, but we slowly found an improvement because we increased the awareness of what goes into what bin by the visual signs. We did the mini waste audits that helped measure it, and then we started reporting on our results of our increasing of our recycling that was happening. And of course, using different avenues, whether it's emails, whether it's monthly meetings that we would have anyway. So that would be an agenda on the item to communicate the results of where we are at that point in time.
Okay, moving on here. There's a question about recording, and we are recording today, and we will have the recording of today's talk posted to our YouTube channel here later today. We should be able to get that up on YouTube, so no worries there. The next question we've got, what about, let's see. What is the annual budget for this initiative?
For the waste reduction initiative?
I'm assuming that's what the question is about.
So our waste reduction initiative, it was really a minimal because I showed a slide with the black waste bin. That waste bin costs maybe $3 or so. And we would order that bin for every single person at our head office. So we're talking not less than $1,000 really, for everyone to have it at their workstation. And from there, they would reduce their waste to put in that small bin, the small black bin that clipped onto the blue bin. And it was essentially the investment was that. So again, you can still get, implementing a small change, you can still get a big impact, and you don't have to invest a lot of money up front.
Yeah, I think we may have lost Susan again. She love any meeting. Let's see. Yep, we did lose her here for a second.
Oh, I'm back again. Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. We lose you like every 5 minutes or so. Just makes us all love any meeting that much more.
Yes, I don't know why that's happening, but I'm back.
Well, at least this particular talk, we didn't have to deal with slide share interrupted every 5 seconds either, so at least the view of the slides wasn't interrupted. We'll move on here. This question: how do you suggest driving leadership interest from the grassroots level?
So the grassroots, you know what, our sustainability green teams were instrumental in this. We made sure that, you know, there's always, I guarantee you, in every organization, there are key individuals who step up, who want to get involved. We tapped into those engaged employees. We call them our green advocates. From there, we picked them and we formed a green team or sustainability team. And if they had an initiative that was not, you know, throughout the whole company, but it was a good initiative that would impact the environment or the community, we did not say no. We heard what they had to say. They were truly engaged. They wanted to step up and volunteer for it, and we let them run with it. And then if we found, most importantly, if it aligned with our business goals and they were getting results, we would then, you know, communicate it at the national meeting that we have, our monthly meeting, to associates and to the executives, and of course having a leadership person from our executive team to help drive that initiative certainly helps with the momentum. So I think the key is to really hear take the pulse of your employees in terms of what's important to them, what really, you know, pulls at their heartstrings in terms of what they want to see change, whether it be in the community or environmental initiative. Hear it and see how we can implement it on a small scale. When you get those results and they're improving and you're getting successes, celebrate the small successes and then communicate it to your associates, to your employees, and I guarantee you that will magnify and it will continue to grow across, not only in your head office, but it will start growing across the board at all your sites. That was my my experience here.
Okay, let's see. And yes, when we do provide the survey here later, we will also provide a link to the YouTube video recording as well. So that'll all be together. We'll also have a copy of today's slides included as well. So should be able to share all that here with everyone later. Let me look and see if we got any more questions. There's a couple places where questions can show up in this. Looks like we have about 10 minutes left. If anybody does have any additional questions, you do have another minute or so in order to put those into the chat box. While you're doing that, I'll take a moment here, remind everyone that next Monday, September 24th, will be our next webinar. It's Winning with Measures with Scott Bergmeyer of the Creative Solutions Group, LLC. He's a member of the ASQ Central Iowa section. So we're happy to have that talk next week. That'll be our fourth and final one for this month. Susan, I'm not seeing any other questions come through. And you're still there with me, right? Susan? Come on. Okay. So, oh,
you lost me again. I was
just saying here a few seconds ago, it looks like we don't have any additional questions at this point. Did you have any additional comments that you wanted to share before we wrap things up?
No, just a simple thank you to you for having me speak today. And certainly if there's any feedback or further questions later on, send them my way or to yourself. And I'm happy to answer anything after the call as well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Susan. We're going to go ahead and call it for the day then. Looks like you'll get a few extra minutes here before the top of the hour today. Next week we will be using GoToMeeting. We will not be using any meeting. I think I'll be the first one in line to say I'm happy about that. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today and your patience in dealing with, as we dealt with the interruptions here audio-wise with any meeting. We hope that many of you will join us next Monday. Until then, we'd like to wish everyone a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye now.
Thank you.